So today we are going to discuss a few things. First of all, as you must have already seen from the thumbnail of this video, so you should understand how, especially for small children, because this job model lifestyle that has been imported directly from foreign countries. Because of this, what is happening is that children are not getting the parenting they should be. That parenting just is not happening. For half of them, it is understandable that they came from the British classroom system as individuals, and independent individuals at that. So it makes sense that they do not know how to parent at all. That is understandable. There are many things we will have to understand, like the fact that the real life expectations, there is absolutely no training of that kind. This is not part of the British classroom format. We have to understand this. And because of this, what is happening is many of the young couples have absolutely no clue about parenting. You can clearly see how they, and not even their own parents are with them. So then they have no clue at all that way either. And there is no one to tell them, no one to point out that it is done this way, not that way, or what to do. So what has happened because of this? What is happening is that parents are experimenting on their own small children. With their own parenting experiments, and in these experiments it is becoming so clearly visible that with these small children, neither one of their parents is ready to give their own personal time to them, whatever the reason, financial, this, that, whatever, but not even one of the two parents is giving their personal attention or time. So when this is not happening, it has become very easy to just hand over phones to children, even very, very small children, who know nothing at all. I mean, they have not even learned how to speak yet. They are being shown a screen, and this starts from the time they are being fed until the time when the parent is not even around, they are still handed the screen. Okay, and when the parents do come home, even then, because they do not want to give their time, or both parents are themselves sitting with their phones, so the child, even with the parent present, is glued to the screen. Now what is happening from this is that children who used to learn to walk in a year or a year and a half, or learn to speak completely in 1.5, 2 or 3 years, they would learn all the words and all the organs that were supposed to develop. None of this is happening at all. They are just glued to the screen the whole time. Okay, the screen has everything on it. The emotional exchange is being completed with the screen itself. So no emotional exchange is happening with the parent at all. Not with friends, not with any other human being. Gradually what will happen is that they will learn to walk after they are 3 years old. They will learn to speak after they are 4 years old. And slowly organ failures. You will see, like in our generation, those of us who came out of that British classroom format. 95% of us do not even realize our nose, eyes and ears are not working. I mean, we do not even know how much they should be working. So how would we know they are not working? So we cannot hear properly, nor can we see properly. Our breathing is not happening properly. This is because of the British classroom format. And we do not even know that this is not happening as much as it should. But this generation is very different. It is visible that not a single organ is able to develop because of screen time. It is clearly visible for them. Okay. So in our time, the reason was that we were just sitting in that British classroom in which the English language was just shoved on us. They do not show you an apple. They just stick a pencil between your fingers and say, just write apple. So you are not allowed to smell the apple, see the apple, or even taste it. Letting you do. Where does an apple grow? Nothing. Just start writing apple with a pencil jammed between two fingers. Make them write it while they are crying. So we have come through this. So we do not even know that our eyes, nose and ears are not working properly. But for these ones, by showing an apple on a screen, they are being shown things that are on a whole other level, things that even adults do not watch. So all this that is happening at such a young age, because of this, not a single organ will work. If I give a simple example of our generation, let me talk about the loss we have suffered. Personally, I used to remember at least 30 to 40 phone numbers. 30 to 40 numbers easily. Then ever since this smartphone arrived, I do not remember a single one, right? So we have seen this. The organ failure is clearly visible. It is obvious that the memory is failing, okay? It is exactly like when children are given a calculator in class and now they are solving everything on the calculator, okay? So our parents' generation, they knew the tables for 1/4, 1/3, 1/5 completely by heart. They did calculations like that. And this generation is doing 55 into 2 on a calculator. That is how it is now. That is the situation we are in. The organ failure has truly reached this level. Okay. And secondly, the way our generation was, you literally had to beat us to get us to come back home from playing outside. Otherwise, no one would come home. They would be playing outside. Until you were dragged back, no one went home. These kids, you have to force them out of the house and they still will not go. This current generation is so completely glued to their screens that it is not just that their eyes are going to be damaged, but none of their other organs will work either. If this technology terrorism continues, and with the kind of games on screen that are being shown along with that content, with that, their minds are going to become so corrupted that if even the slightest bit of a crisis comes, or someone says something, or after getting them hooked on this mobile or screen habit, if you suddenly cut the internet or take the phone back, you cannot even imagine the things they will do. So for the parents, any parent listening to us needs to understand what direction you are taking them in. Tomorrow, there will be divorces over something as trivial as the internet not working on a mobile. Tomorrow, and if they come back after a divorce, who will you blame? How can you blame the girl or boy when the parenting was like this, when the parents themselves do not even know what parenting even is? So what fault can you possibly find in the children then? It is major organ failure in that sense. When your arms and legs do not actually grow to the level they are supposed to, right? Simply getting bigger in size is not what growth is. So it means your hands and legs just will not grow. Its inherent utility, if that itself is not there, then what is going to be the outcome? And you must understand one thing, that all the living beings that exist in the world, whichever things that you do not make use of, in the very next generation, that particular thing, nature starts to cut those things out. You see, that is how natural adaptability works. Okay? So the way you are using your eyes, in the next generation, the eyes are formed according to that utility. This is a law of nature. That the thing you used a lot and the specific way in which you used it, that is the kind of utility you get in the next birth. There is an automatic adaptability that happens in the birth of the next generation. For instance, if I give you an example, there are certain animals that when there is even the slightest change in their natural environment, their skin color, the size of their hands and legs, it all changes accordingly. It is all about whatever is required for survival. So for these children, whichever of their organs they do not use, the very next child after them will actually be born with a deformity in that specific organ. Do you get it? I mean, right now he is doing 55 into 2 on a calculator. Then the generation after that will have to search for where 55 is on the calculator. They are going to have trouble typing 55 on the calculator. Why? Because it went unused. The thing that is not used, nature slowly removes it from the bodily functions. Then the next one will not even see where 55 is on the calculator.